I learned how to hustle, and I happened to fall into commercial art, which was already part of my skill set. They had a 3-year program in hand lettering, which I learned in 3 months. So I was the first student they put on work study in the 10th grade. Here you are, you're a young kid, you know, somebody gives you an illustration job, you're doing it in your room anyway. He recognizes your talent. And he gave me a couple of $100 for that, which represented a lot of sign work. So the bell went off immediately.
World-renowned artist Larry Poncho Brown can look back and embrace what he had to go through to get to this point in his life. While he sold his artwork on the streets in his teenage years, these days his work is seen in galleries, for sale online, and at his studio. As a former MICA student, he faced challenges that few of those attending today would ever face.
There's a whole sort of methodology to the practice of art, but then there's also the selling of art and actually the practice of the business of art.
On the studio walls, you'll find a lot of his work and other items that weren't on his radar screen. He let us peek in on a work in progress, a piece for his late friend, Annie Lee. It's called Everybody Say Amen.
So I've been working on this for a couple of months now, trying to finish it up. But I actually was fortunate enough to speak at her funeral. So I feel honored to be able to participate in this particular project. Poncho is a dated name. If you understand the Cisco Kid and his sidekick Poncho, then you're probably in my age group from 55 to 65. My father decided to name me that as a nickname. 20 years ago, I was sitting in a restaurant with some well-known artists. And we were all sitting around in the restaurant where they had paper on the table, and we all scribbling on the table, and we all started talking about projects we wanted to do in the future. And so they got around to me, and I said, man, I want to do a line of ponchos with my artwork on it. And they all laughed, and I laughed, and I just figured it was a whack idea, so I never did it. But maybe about 8 years ago, I decided to pursue it, and so now I'm the one laughing.
The era of focusing on one medium is out. The students at MICA are challenged to take courses they may be unfamiliar with.
A painter might now be exploring in sculpture and mixed media, and so it's not just one area of art that they might be working in, but several areas of art. It's a practice, it's a talent that you have, but it has to be cultivated just like any talent, so that you're doing it, that it's a little more seamless when you're doing it.
Brown was well ahead of the curve. What really put him on the map were chance meetings and having his work connected with several popular TV shows in the 80s. Don't think everything came up roses. In 1995, the artist lost everything in a fire. He's a survivor, which other artists can use to emulate. In Baltimore, I'm Charles Robinson for Your Money and Business.